Welcome to the TMZ podcast. As you can see, Charlie Cotton is not with us again, unfortunately, but we got Jim here.
Good morning.
Me and Jim go way back. What was it, like 8 years ago we worked weekends together?
2017, I think.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to have you on. I know
Thank
you've been on before. So I'm sure most people here are obviously looking for updates on the Nancy Guthrie investigation, the story that has just, swept the nation. So a lot went down over the weekend, and we'll kind of go in chronological order and get into, there was some people detained. There's some DNA that's talked about. There's some different theories that is being put out by law enforcement. So we'll get through all that. And then also Barack Obama was in the news over the weekend. He was responding for the first time to the Trump Truth Social post. So we'll get into his thoughts on that, as well as he addressed aliens over the weekend and then kind of walked it back. So that's fun.
Well, it's rare. Obama doesn't talk a lot, so when he does do an interview, it's always everyone kind of keeps their ears to it.
For sure. And I saw, he was doing a lot this weekend. He was courtside. I tuned in, unfortunately, for about 10 seconds to the NBA All-Star game, and in that 10 seconds, I saw him catch a pass. A ball went out of bounds. So he was like one of the. I saw some screenshots. I wasn't there, but no one went to the All-Star game.
No, this dunk competition, the three-point contest was a little sparse in the crowd this year.
The dunk competition, the biggest thing I saw was a guy almost dying on the court, and the three-point contest was won by a guy who has one Achilles. So.
I thought people were saying that the All-Star game is back this
Did
year.
people like it? I think they liked the format. I was talking about, I saw screenshots, and this could be, misinformation, but there was no one in the stands, bro. Was there a lot of people? Did I get duped?
On Sunday, there were people in the stands, but Saturday night, it was pretty empty.
Yeah, there's a lot to do in LA, unfortunately. All right, anyways, we'll get to what the people want, this Nancy Guthrie investigation. So it happened again. Like I got home from dinner on Friday, and I see all this activity that, the SWAT team and the FBI agents were doing a federal search warrant at a Tucson home that was about 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's place.
Late on Friday night.
Yeah, they were all descending on this home. It was chaotic, and it seemed to me again to be like, oh, they have the person. Like, we're going to get an arrest. We're going to maybe find Nancy. We're going to find some information. And unfortunately, at least up to this point, it was a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, what we know is that at least 3 people were detained. There was also a white van that was involved in a traffic stop on the same night. But unfortunately, to what we know so far, there was no details that have been released on what was seized, what they were looking for, who they were looking for. It's still kind of very hollow in the details.
Yeah, so they're not releasing anything. All they really were saying was that 3 people were detained. It had to do with the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping. No arrests. They did take some stuff. I know there was this traffic stop. There was a lot of misinformation out there about that. But yeah, ultimately no one was arrested. And then the other big update was that it was hard to see because they were doing a good job blocking the local media, but they were investigating this possible vehicle of interest, which was like a silver Range Rover. It was at a restaurant about 2 miles from Nancy's Tucson home. There was a traffic stop, and they eventually towed it. They were speaking to a guy. You can't really make out what he looks like very well in the photos I saw. And then they brought up these big sheets and completely blocked everything. So it seems that the cops or the FBI have some interest in this silver Range Rover, but obviously unclear in what connection it has with her disappearance, or if they were just working on a tip that they got, and they did the search warrant and went and spoke to the people. But again, like, I just felt like this was very reminiscent of the following week when they traffic stopped that guy, descended on his home, and it all ended up being nothing.
Yeah, and right now they probably have to take every tip seriously.
For sure.
Like any lead, any possible lead, they're going to jump in and investigate it. So I'm sure what we saw Friday night is not going to be the only situation of somebody being detained and questioned involving the case.
For sure. And I mean, at least they're, it's giving, at least they're chasing some leads, it seems, that they find very credible. I know the person was questioned, and the guy that was at the Culvers, that was the traffic stop happened at. He was questioned. He wasn't arrested. And obviously by them taking the car, clearly I think what they're doing here is there at least wasn't anything they saw that, gave them enough to arrest somebody, but they're clearly taking this car, going to be scrubbing it for evidence, sending it into a lab, all that stuff. And then getting into the evidence stuff. So there's been a lot about these gloves,
The
right?
gloves, yes.
There was the glove that was on the side of the road. Then there was some reports that, they had found 16 gloves in connection that they were testing.
Scattered around the area.
Scattered around. Then there were some people saying, well, some of these gloves were actually the people that were looking for her. They were just discarded gloves. So a lot of them obviously have nothing to do with Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, but the FBI did confirm over the weekend that they did recover. This is probably, I think, the biggest piece of information that, or lead at least, that they got over the weekend, was that they did recover a glove that visually matches the one from the surveillance, the Ring camera footage
FBI
from her
released
house.
it,
And so basically, they confirmed they found DNA inside that glove. So now what they do is they send it to a lab, I believe in Florida. Takes some time, obviously, for them to analyze it, and then they put it in a database essentially, and look. And it basically it would only be a match for someone if it's someone who had been, committed a crime.
They already have their
felony.
DNA in the system. Yeah.
Exactly. So if it's in the system and it matches, then they can put out okay, we need to, find this person. But as of now, us filming this podcast right now, we don't know whether or not there was a match or not.
Yeah, and I don't know the timetable of how long it'll take to get.
It usually takes about 24 hours,
Okay.
they say. So it takes 24 hours for them to test the DNA. Then it will go into, I forgot exactly, it's called a CODIS database. That's what they use. And obviously they're not going to make that, that won't become available to the media. It's not like they're going to put out, this is the DNA we found. Obviously, a source could leak it or whatnot. But the public won't know, I don't think, until this person's detained or if they have or maybe they're having trouble finding the person. So yeah, it's just interesting. I mean, that's to me the main.
That's the big recap from the weekend.
In the case, I know. Yeah, there's the one other thing I did see was that they were this botch burglary theory. I forgot exactly where this came from. I think it might have. Do you know, Tony? Did this?
It's like a source. It's an inside source. Here, let me get the exact.
Yeah, because I know obviously the problem is that the FBI's on the case, the Pima County's on the case, and then some of they sometimes talk on the record. Sometimes this is just leaking through like investigation sources. So you really never know where this information's coming from.
It's according to AZ Family, citing an inside source.
Okay, so it was about a source that they were pushing this whole theory that we've kind of talked about from the beginning, that it was, for whatever reason, they believe it was a botched burglary, that it wasn't like she was targeted. They happened to be at the house, obviously breaking in to try to steal things, and clearly it was just like a burglary gone wrong.
Yeah.
So that's at least what one outlet is saying, what the leading theory is in the investigation, which to me, that's been one of the theories floated from the beginning, but then obviously the ransom notes and all that kind of throw that theory out the window. So that theory, in my opinion, would only be true if you believe these ransom stuff is all BS.
Yeah, which also we're continuously vetting and doing our work in terms of all these ransom notes that we're receiving.
And I know a lot of people are thinking that it's all BS, but it's like the FBI and the sheriff's department have spoken how they're taking it very seriously.
Oh, you
and
have to.
If they, and granted, they could just be doing their job and following every lead, but I just don't feel like they would have been spoken at length about him at these press conferences and been if they didn't think it was anything.
Yeah, that's very true.
So yeah, so that's pretty much. I know they originally the reward was $50K for any information, went up to 100. So yeah, obviously we'll be following that story all week, and we will see what happens. I mean, obviously the cops are on it, the FBI's on it, and we will definitely be updating you guys with any new information we get, which we might. I know they're working on a story out there right now that we probably can't talk about, but
Harvey's making calls.
But exactly. But I think there will be something on the website later on this morning, another update. You want to get into the Obama stuff?
All right. So I'm not sure if you guys didn't know, last week, President Trump's Truth Social account posted a video, and towards the end of that video was a video of Michelle and Barack Obama on monkeys.
Yeah, their face superimposed on monkeys from the Lion King.
And there hasn't really been accountability or an apology regarding the video from Trump's team, but Barack kind of finally hinted at the video and had somewhat of a response to it being posted to Trump, which basically he just said the clown show he says the current prez is putting on, which is...
Yeah, I think we have the clip, right? We're gonna do the clip about the alien. Okay, cool. So I mean, this is a very Barack Obama. Right?
It is
taking the high road. I mean, he obviously addressed it by saying that, calling what's going on a clown show. But still, I mean, he said he just believes that, majority of Americans finds this behavior troubling, and basically just talked about it's a loss of decorum and basically just in our political leaders. So it was just classic, Barack kind of finally addressed it, but also didn't really
sticking to business. He's not going to dive into the crap that Trump puts on, but obviously he probably needed to say something, defend himself in some sort of capacity, but I don't envision him getting entangled in the drama of Trump.
No, definitely not. I think they eventually took that video down. Then I think they tried to say it wasn't a racist video. Then they tried to be like it was someone on his team, that he had nothing to do with it. Who knows? Regardless, it's just crazy that something like that could be posted. What was that, like a week ago? And then just the news cycle moves on. And the only reason it was even brought up again was just because obviously he was on this podcast and was kind of asked about it. And eventually he was going to be asked about it, but I thought originally, after it happened, it was such a big thing that he would tweet or something, and he didn't even do that. So I think it was one of those situations where he's just I don't want to give any attention to this, so I'm just going to ignore it. So so that's what he, pretty much what I expected he thought about it.
Talked about that a little bit, but then he also talked a little bit about aliens.
Oh, God. Dude, I'm not an alien guy. I mean, I believe they're out there. I've said this for the longest time. I definitely believe in aliens more than ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts, but I just don't need to. I have too much going on in my life to have any brain capacity for aliens. But whose show was he on? Was this Brian Tyler? And this was the same guy who asked him about the Trump comment, right? So he sat down for some long podcast. So he got into that and then got into his thoughts on aliens.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51.
Area 51. There's no underground facility unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the President of the United States.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
The funny thing is that alien psychos, those people that just spend all their life trying to say that they're hiding aliens from us. When he was when he didn't remember the name of that place, Area 51, people are gonna latch onto that and be like, see, he's definitely hiding something. He of course knows Area 51.
Aliens are real. He's not really saying it.
Yeah.
He tried to walk it back now too, trying to clarify.
Yeah, so I guess I was clearly busy with much more important things over the weekend, so I missed this whole alien talk on Twitter. But I guess he released another statement saying I was trying to stick with the spirit of the speed round. But since it's gotten attention, let me clarify. Statistically, the universe is so vast that the odds are good there's life out there, but the distances between solar systems are so great that the chances we've been visited by aliens is low, and I saw no evidence during my presidency that extraterrestrials have made contact with us, really.
Nah.
So basically, I mean, what he just said is exactly what I think. Like, yes, there is probably other life out there, but like, I don't think they've seen aliens. You think they're hiding aliens from us?
I think they're hiding.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm one of those psychos.
I don't really even, to be honest with you, I don't even really care if they are.
I don't either. I would like a straightforward answer just to like put it to rest so we don't have to keep going back and forth about it. But I also understand that there are people out there that may not be able to handle the truth of people.
You can't handle the truth. Yeah. I don't care if they're aliens. They're probably out there somewhere. I don't really care if we have too much other things going on.
Yeah, I agree.
So basically based off what he said, you either now have confirmed there are aliens or now it's like whatever side of the fence you stand on, whatever he says just like solidifies your point more. You just take certain words. Anyways, we'll get into the comments real quick. Nancy Guthrie, MI 3808, way too long. Where is this lady? I would be so stressed taking too long. Yeah. I would agree.
I would not be able to handle this situation.
Yeah, if you were in the family and it's been over 2 weeks now, obviously.
Savannah keeps posting videos, just begging for help, any information. Like, I could not imagine being in this situation.
Yeah, I forgot about the video she posted last night where she essentially alluded to the fact that they believe that their mother is still alive and just demanding that, whoever has her, you made a mistake, but like.
Just bring her back safe.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just heartbreaking. Disaster Piece 85. I don't know how someone could do this. There's no way someone with morals and a heart could do such a thing. It's a really sad situation. This is a very old woman who has many health issues. Yeah, obviously she needs her medication. Whoever did this is a awful human being. Cavi Bo, they need to stop giving information. If it's irrelevant, it's making them look incompetent of handling this case. Yeah, that's the problem is there's a lot of information that's getting leaked out there. And I know they're trying to keep it as tight as they can, but it's also like there's a lot of hunger for answers. And there's a lot of pressure on them that they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So they have to obviously give some explanation of why they descended on this house. Obviously not very much information they release, but yeah.
I don't know. It's been 2 weeks and we're going into our third week on it. We'll see what unravels and what happens this week, but hopefully we get to a conclusion by the end of this week.
Yeah, I know the family definitely wants that. J1525, it is remote. It doesn't even have any street lights, cameras, etc. It's in the desert. That is deemed remote. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Remote area. I've never been down to Tucson before. Also, the other thing I saw over the weekend was that they had this helicopter, right, where they were they were flying it low over certain areas because I guess it could detect her pacemaker.
Oh.
But apparently it has to only be 50 feet above the ground. And I don't know. I know a lot of people's theory in the beginning was like, oh, she has got a pacemaker. So why don't they, go try to ping it? So I guess they are attempting to do that in the best way they can. Aliens, Deep Blue Seas. You got a straightforward answer. You're just waiting for a yes.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's me. You're not wrong.
I don't give a shit if there are aliens out there, bro. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. I don't care if the government's seen them. I don't. And also, these people who are like, oh, look at this little blurry video. It's like, dude, if they had them, it would be much better video than the shitty video they've released.
I know.
So.
But, all right.
Yep, that's it. So I think Charlie's back tomorrow.
He is.
So we will talk to you guys later. See ya.